Good morning everyone and welcome to you in this daily update on mainly Bitcoin these days. Hope you had a very good start of the week in terms of trading and everything, by the way. Yeah, so Bitcoin is just basically range bound at the moment, to be fair. We've got an increase in price in the last update into the bottom of the gap, as you can see here. That is normally just right there. So this is on the RTH, but you've got another gap yesterday on the RTH here. On this one we can get rid of that, and so yeah, we've got the move into the top of the gap. You can see around the 1 hour with no any candle close, so not activating the long trade. We've got a bit of another increase in price overnight, but now we can move overnight. No, it was not overnight. Oh yeah, it was overnight for me at that time. So we can now move the top of the bottom of the gap at that price with a weak high here, and so that brings us with a gap between 81,400 up to 84,500 basically, and we'll have another small one just above. Okay, so it's not this anymore, but it's like this. So yeah, microphone normally, yes, it's working well, perfect. So let's clean up this chart a little bit. We've got two supports planned yesterday in the Discord server. To be fair, we've got nothing interesting in there. In the first one, nothing. This was some good support, not gonna lie, but well, yeah, if you don't get the data for a bounce, it's not going to bounce, right? So first one bad, and then the second one here, we've got a few good data at some point. I gave a bit of a scalp, but next it was overnight for me, so I did not check any of this. And so we bounced it off the weekly naked point of control, and you can see there's a naked session path control too that we printed on, well, yesterday, I think. No, on Monday, if I'm correct. But anyways, so let's update the level. So now the top of the gap is by the way, the bottom of the gap, wow, 81,450. So let's take this. There we go. Perfect. Sorry, so let's go here as always on a daily time frame first of all, so we can see what daily we have that one there. Sorry again. So then we have what? Let's update all these levels. So let's start with the DNPOC here. So we have 79,427.5. Okay, let's rise always on the TX1 and the TX250, 79,538.5. Yeah, this is basically the same. Okay, this is done. TX8 on the TPOs, we can look for 79,345.2. $79,345.2. Okay, and let's check as always on the TX50. 40 by the way. $342, so this is the same. Alright, and so let's have a look at the naked session path control. 79,430. $75,730. And let's have a look at the TX 200, 150. Yeah, you can see the difference here because now the ticks changed on by. You can see here we've got no naked session path control on the ticks 40, so the old ticks, but on the 200, if you do ×5, you have a naked session path control here. So it looks like the 200 ticks is working better, as you can see here, but well, I will keep adding both for now and see for the time which one is the best. So this is done. Yep. so we can move here on the order flow. Well, nothing crazy to be honest with you to add on the order flow here. Let's get rid of that first one. And there we go. Let's get rid of that. And there we go, perfect. So let's see what short trade we can get here. For today, by the way, we have some news today. We have the Fed FOMC at 8 p.m. UTC plus 2. So let's add this here. Yeah, perfect. Alright, nice. So this news can move the market as always, can be very volatile on this time, so be aware of this. Tomorrow also we have some news at 2:30 UTC plus 2 to be aware of, as I'm going to be live only on Friday, so tomorrow you have also some news. Core inflation rate is moving the market most of the time, so just be aware of that. Okay, so let's see now the different targets we have for a short trade. Okay. Yeah, not sure we'll get the high, to be honest with you. Okay, that one is better. Alright, so yeah, the best way to come still, well, we have a small resistance already where we are right now. We have a swing for the pound plus the encourage view up from the top we've done here. We've made around the gap bottom, sorry. So this is the first resistance we are having. Now the biggest confluence you can see is sitting still a little bit above the encourage view up. So the best way to come up here and get a good short reaction, okay, in here, and get something bearish to get a full reversal. That will be the best. I did not do the long here. This was, well, nothing crazy here to be fair with the bounce, just a naked session. Path control is very small, but you can see here how well respected it was. It was exactly at the weekly naked path control. You go a little bit below, reclaim, flip it into support, get the full reversal, flip to support this value low here. So that's pretty nice. Really well respected levels. But anyways, yeah, the best still here will be to come up here and get that short trade. And if we don't get this short trade, so we have this first one here today, like this, okay, so I'm gonna set an alert here. There we go. So yeah, the thing is now, if we come in here, okay, into this resistance, and we get absolutely nothing bearish on the order flow, we get no bearish reaction on this, then it simply means that we're going to go through basically, or we're going to spend some more time and then form something bearish. But if we get nothing bearish on the order flow, we're going to look for a nice continuation for the highs to be taken. So what we can look for here is simply again the bottom of the gap, and here again the bottom of the gap is a resistance, so we simply have to see if we have a rejection with some good bearish data of this. If we don't manage to get any bearish reaction of this target, we're going to look for the gap to be filled. As simple as that basically. Okay, so this gap here is a resistance. We can look for a short at the gap at the gap bottom resistance, and if we don't get anything bearish on the order flow at that time, we're going to look for the gap to be filled. And so normally we shall get some candle close inside the gap, not like here for example on the 1 hour. Okay, you don't get any candle close against here, just do a wick above, close back below, so this is not getting acceptance into the gap, and next you move as you did some wicks above, you filled this section of the gap, so you do not get any candle close into the gap. Okay, so here it will be the same. If you start getting some candle close into the gap, or a very strong breakout and nothing is absolute, for example if you have a tons of longs, this is bullish, we might fill the gap, and so we can look for the top of the gap, and so we can basically look for this zone next for a short trade. Okay, as we have another gap next, this is resistance, and if we get some candle close inside, we're going to fill it, so go to the top of it. Okay, but yeah, this is the next short trade basically, if we manage to push that high. Okay, so yeah, that is it for the resistance. For the support, well, again, if we push higher than this, then what is the next target? The next target is, let me just go on a bit of a bigger time frame here. Let me see, is it well placed? Yes, this one too. All right, yeah, Yeah, nice. So yeah, the first resistance is really so all the gaps. If we start getting acceptance above, you know, the gaps, we're going to look for these highs here to be taken into this massive 90k here value area low. This zone here is very important. We also have an anchor you have just above. So this is the next big zone of resistance. Okay, so around 90,000 basically. If we start breaking 90,000, get acceptance above the all-time high anchor rate view up. By the way, is it not well placed? Oh, it is. If we start getting acceptance above this anchor rate view up here, oops, I'm with something here now. No, we can simply look here. So around. So if we start getting acceptance above the 90k zone, we can simply look for another push to the upside into this point of control and value area high. So we have a zone around 97,000 up to 99,000 to be fair. Okay, and if we start reclaiming this, to be honest, we're very likely going towards a new all-time high at that point. We still have this value area high, double value, no, by the way, single value area high resistance, but this is, I mean, there is no real crazy big confidence here. We have already got some very nice sign of strength. So yeah, this is a price to expect basically, new all-time high if we do reclaim that. So yeah, that is it really for the. Can get rid of that weekly now. Where was there? Yeah, let's get rid of that. That is it for the shorts. If we have to long, well, the only long I'm interested in is a new low on Bitcoin. Okay, I will definitely look for a new low. Why? Simply because now where I can go for this? We can go here, I think. We have this nice range at the moment. Okay, boom. What we can look for here is simply a swing through pan or a failed auction of the range low. What it is, the range low, it's simply the first big target we have planned here. The first possible swing long that can end, you know, for the big yellow wave for we have planned the last update. I really highly recommend you to go and watch this if you want to get some wave, talk about Elliott wave. This is in the last live stream. But yeah, this is the next target basically we have planned down to the 61866% of course. We also have the fib speed 75 also just below here, so we have a nice zone of confluence. And so as you can see here, we have this range high just below us. We have this range below here, you know, we have been trading here, well, maybe it depends if you was there at that time, but you've got this very nice consolidation here that form a range. We have the high of the range and we have the bottom of the range with a middle just right here. So we have the bottom of the range, you can see just a little bit below, that will match with our bottom of the range also. That will bring us with, if I just copy past this, gonna do this one here to make sure this is a good one. Can see here we have the bottom of the gap of the range just a little bit below us, so we can just do a swing through pan here. Okay, come back up here, get the long trade or a failed auction below basically, so you just spend some more time. Okay, but you have this possible trade setup next. Again, please don't forget, if we have to go that down, we can look for the 61866% below us, so we can look for this, so go really a little bit below and that will end up here in a massive failed auction basically. But we can do something bigger here to the downside. We can spend some more time flipping to resistance, go and touch the 61866% and manage to reclaim everything with some very good data. So of course, if you want to wait for the range to be reclaimed, it's up to you how aggressive you want to be. Are you going to try to catch a knife? It depends if you know how to read an order flow, if you have some profit to play with too. If you want to play it safe, wait for the market structure change, the local market structure change, at least on a lower time frame. Sorry, maybe wait also for the range low to be reclaimed with some good strength on this first and initial push to the upside. Okay. So yeah, you can get this long up here, down here or up here, depending on how aggressive you want to be basically. So yeah, we just have basically this range to trade at the moment. Okay, so this is, yeah, this is it really. So swing through pan, just make a wick below, reclaim directly, close back above, and so you get all the good long reaction while you're doing this. This is a failed auction, sorry, a swing through pan, oh my god. A failed auction is when you get acceptance, if we can say get acceptance below the support, okay, so below the range low, you spend some time, you form something very bullish here on the order flow. For example here, swing through pan once more the low with bullish CVD and some big shorts and big shorts at the lows and some big demand here to reclaim. If you get this is already a really good long trade setup. Now there is a risk that you just flip into resistance and come back down, so you have to be aware of what is going on here. Do you have to take profit? Yes or no? It depends if you have a good reaction there to take profit or not. If you don't, you can look for a reclaim of the range and bam 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 and a full reversal and trap and erect all the shorts that was opening at the bottom basically. Okay, so this is a failed auction. Just spend some more time swing through and just take the low, come back up directly and leave the previous low with a wick only below, and failed auction, spend some more time and then come back up. If now we go below, we just, for example, here get a massive move to the downside with a lot of shorts, but all the shorts are not getting absorbed on the order flow, then this is classed as a very strong move to the downside, and so we are going to look for a bigger continuation down. So if we continue lower here, we can simply look for the next targets. You know, first of all, we have this one here. If you do get a massive bearish move here, nothing is bullish at all on the order flow, you can look for a continuation down to 64,500, down to 61,000. Again, we're talking about a higher time frame here. We're in a daily time frame, so we'll have some big zones, but again, these levels will give something normally. I mean, maybe not all of them, but we shall get something in any case. Maybe not on all of them, but this will give something, even maybe, you know, a flip to resistance or something. Anyways, so this is the first zone of support we are having below us. Now the best of the best will be to come into this zone of support, so around 60k basically, with this big path control, monthly negative path control, and this encourages you up from the very bottom at 15k on Bitcoin. So yeah, if we drop below here, we have this long zone. If we do break this, and this is a good zone of support, okay, this is a very good zone of support. If we do break this, we'll have this long zone also, but this one is not the best. The best would come into this bigger zone of support. That's why there is a trade here and there is a trade here, because I am showing you only the best ones here. Of course, this is a support, so we can bounce off that, but the best way to come down, if we have to come down here, to come down to 60k basically, down to 56, sorry, because we have this whole zone of support. Okay, not gonna go too low for the moment. I already planned everything in the last update, so not gonna repeat myself too much. So that is it really for Bitcoin. To be honest with you, with the wave, nothing changed much. It was on this chart here, if I'm correct, that we have planned the things. Still looking for this Z wave here to the downside to make one more new low would be nice, to be honest with you. That will be really cool. And by the way, you might get a triangle forming here now. For this kind of support. Sorry. We have this, why Siri again is activating? This is, anyways. And we have this nice resistance just right there, so we can get this kind of triangle, continue the range bound like this, and at some point maybe fake the pump and swipe the lows. Oh, that would be crazy if we do swipe the highs and swipe the lows. That would be insane. Yeah, just be aware of this. It's not confirmed yet at all, because we have to get a little bit more of resistance, but we do have this possible triangle here. So yeah, can look for a short at the highs as always and look for a long at the bottom. You short the resistance and long the support, do not long the resistance and short the support. So yeah, this is something possible. Now the best here will be to still make something a little bit bigger here, really go for this range basically. So yeah, we're done I think for today. Nothing more to add on this. On the alts, I mean, yeah, I'm just going to wait for some sign of strength. This is, I'm not really interested in anything right now, to be honest with you. I'm just gonna let them drop. For example, on this one, what we can look for here for a first sign of strength will be to get a reclaim of this path control value low. Once we have done this, we need to see that Bitcoin is bullish as well at the same time. We need also to change this low, high, low, high, lower low, and then we'll have to make a higher high and then hold a lower high, and then here in that case we're going to plan the support, and so from here we're going to be able to write at least one push to the upside normally. So yeah, well, I'm going to wait for this market to change personally. I don't want to, yeah, to try to catch a knife, to be honest with you, as we're Bitcoin well, this is not confirmed at all that we are bullish on this one yet. We are still into the downtrend, and yeah, there is no sign of strength at all for the moment. We just flip it. Well, again, it depends of the time frame, but you can see we just got a flip to resistance of the value low. So again, this is a massive sign of weakness. So yeah, I mean, this is yeah, this is just very weak right now to the upside, to be honest. So yeah, nothing more to add on the alts. On gold, by the way, we have 2 resistance now. You know, in the last update we didn't had this data, was at that, well, we just had this and was around there, if I'm correct. Yeah, around here. So now we did made one more new low, so we can simply look for this fixed range pull from the all-time high to the bottom, and so we have this nice point of control swing 30-pound zone. So I added only the swing 30-pound zone because it was with the encourage you up, so I added everything yesterday in Discord. So this is the first zone of resistance. If we start breaking above here with no swing 30-pound or failed auction, you can look for this zone of resistance. So weekly 618.66% and the value area high of this latest downtrend. If you pull also another fixed range, you can see we'll have a nice value area low at this price, plus all the bottoms here. That can be a bit of a resistance also. So this is a very, well, this is the best one, the one we're having above, but this is also definitely a resistance we're having here. Okay, and so basically what will be the plan for this? It will be simply for an ABC zigzag, or by the way an impulsive to the downside, so wave 1, 2 and much bigger drop. Okay, again, I'm not necessarily looking for this, but if we have to drop, we are going to make one of these two in any case. Okay, so either an ABC zigzag, 5 waves correction, 5 waves. If you do go a lot lower here, you hold the bottom, you bounce but not too much, we're going to look for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 5 waves correction, 5 waves, ABC. And if you start, I mean, if you continue lower, you can look for a 5 waves correction, 5 waves, so 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 again. Okay, so basically you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, it will be a little bit bigger like this normally. Either the C, either the 3. Next you have, depending on what you do here, a wave 4, a wave 5. And if you just get a wave 4 is breaking the wave 1 bottom here, then this was an ABC zigzag. Okay, and you can look next, if we have to be in the bigger white wave 4, you can look for a bigger W, X, Y, for example, like this, just a more complex correction basically. But yeah, these are the 2 patterns we can look for here to the downside basically. On gold, if we have to continue the drop, but with the 5 waves before, it's possible. Otherwise, I have a few TAs on ES and NQ here. Should we bounce from here and get another, well, if we get a really an increase in price here, we need to get this increase in price again on Bitcoin too. I mean, the ES and NQ are going to bounce, so Bitcoin is going to follow basically, but this is the next resistance for the moment on ES if we have to really bounce from here, and this is the next resistance on NQ if we have to bounce from here. Otherwise, what do we have here? Nothing, to be honest with you. Oh yeah, Tesla, by the way, I did some TAs on this. It was 2 weeks ago, if I'm correct. Yeah, no, this was yes and Q for this one. So let me just show you here. I'm gonna go on this one and there you go. So my plan on, so I'm not really covering the stocks, but at the moment the alts are just dying, and there is no sign of strength. Well, I'm getting fun doing some TAs on something else, right? So yeah, we have normally on the higher time frame on Tesla here, so a full wave 1 or an A, as always it can be an ABC zigzag, and so now a massive crash, we look for a massive correction and a massive crash basically. Otherwise a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and when you're in such markets you normally look for an impulsive. So this is what I'm going to take first of all. If we have to be in this green 5 waves to the upside here, we can look for also the wave 4 at the moment with a correction, a bigger double XY here into the wave 4. Just gonna reduce a bit the music on my side. So if we have to be in a double XY here where the X wave take the W route, I'm taking this because as you can see we have a triple wave to the upside and not 5 waves, so it cannot be normally the wave 5, except if you have this, yeah, but no, this cannot be 5 waves too, so no, it cannot, normally it's not really possible. Normally it should be here this double EX, by the way, I place it here an ABC flat, sorry, but it can be also a double EXY. There is no real big difference, just 5 waves down for that one, for a C, and a triple wave, a correction for a Y wave. But anyway, so yeah, these are the 3 targets we're having, so 242, then we have 175, and then we have $103. I would prefer, to be fair, to go down to this second level first of all for the first trade, as you can see here, and why not to the third target, because the first one is, this is a little bit high, this is a little bit complex to long this, because you can see we have a support and we have a resistance just above this support. So it's really complex to long. If I have to long this, I would wait for this to be, well, to get a bounce and for a flip to support before entering a trade. I will not place I will not long here simply because we have a resistance just above, so I will not risk my money basically on this. So if I have to long, I will wait for either a bounce and then the flip to support and take the long on the flip to support to get the right, okay, to ride this up basically. Otherwise I will simply wait for lower prices next. And so yeah, we can look for these two targets basically. So yeah, that is Tesla. And by the way, we might get the 5 waves down. As you can see here, we have this nice wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have the last wave down. It will be lovely that we come down to the value low here, to be honest with you. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe I can place a limit down here, to be honest with you. That's paper trading account, but just I do like this support a lot, to be honest. I will see what Bitcoin is doing as a time. Yeah, we'll see. And otherwise, we have also snapshot here that is in a massive range for a while, and that is finally breaking down. So is it time to look for a short? We're at support, right? And we just failed it here to get the 5 waves. We just ended up here in an ABC. So what was the count here to the downside? ABC, W, X, Y, X, and Z then. What? Why place that here? There's some data missing here, or? One, two, three, four. What the fuck is this? I don't know. Well, let's take this as a top then. Boom. And so we can look for this Z wave to the downside. And so we can just add a few levels here. Let's get rid of that. What's the orange thing here? There you go. All right, nice. So yeah, the best of the best here will be to get reclaim. Let me just not add this red candle away, but this one, there you go. Yeah, the best way to get a reclaim basically, so see that we bounce off the bottom, maybe, you know, do something a little bit bigger here, then reclaim. If you do something a little bit bigger like this, reclaim, flip into support, this can give a decent long trade, okay? And now if you want to play it safe, really safe, for example, we just reclaim now. It's a little bit complex to long the deep right like this. I'm not reading the order flow on this thing, so I don't know. If you're reading the order flow, this is much more easier, but if you don't, the best way to wait for this value low here to be reclaim it, okay, and so this can give something next, okay, so you can get this kind of long trade. Oh, what the fuck is that? Like this. Otherwise, yeah, you can wait if you want to be a little bit more aggressive for an entry directly at the range low, but I would wait for something like this basically. Okay, otherwise, yeah, we really want to see that we get acceptance back inside, and the best deal if we do this now without a bigger move down here, I would wait for this value low to be reclaimed, to be honest with you. Otherwise, yeah, lower is to expect. Yeah, so that is it really for these ones. Otherwise, I have some TAs on Apple, by the way. I have done this last week if I'm correct. Amazon, no, I don't. Apple I do have. So for me, these are the wave on this one. We have a wave 1, 2, and we have a crazy wave, to be fair here, but well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, massive wave 5, because if you remove the large scale, to be honest with you, this is what it looks like. It really looks like this. So yeah, normally in that case we have this big blue wave 5, so wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have a 5 waves here into the wave, the green wave 3, and we have 5 waves here into the green wave 5. So yeah, from here normally if we completed all of this, again we can get a super bullish configuration that I added normally here. It's like gold, you know, if we have to keep pushing higher and higher and higher again and continue with a big wave 5, you know, with a big wave 5 with the extensions such as on gold, we can look for a bigger impulsive here, so wave 1, wave 2, and we are now coming into the support for this to happen. If we're not in this, we can look for a much more bigger wave 4 here. Again, I'm not looking necessarily for a massive crash down to, because it was around $12, $10 a target if we have to make the wave 4. I'm not looking for this directly. We need to lose a lot of support before this to happen. Okay, but yeah, for now, these will be the targets. This will be more likely for a bigger impulsive here into the green wave 5. So of course, this will make this wave a little bit longer. Okay, so we'll not get the bigger wave 4 directly here, we'll get it later, and maybe it's not going to come because next we're going to make another extension here into this wave 5, and so we're going to look for a bigger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. You know, we can keep doing this like that. So before to look for a massive crash, we still have to be aware of such configurations. But yeah, this is in case we'll have to be super bullish, otherwise, yeah, if we do not hold this support, we can simply look for a much more bigger move to the downside. First of all into the green box, and if we do break the green box, yeah, then we're going to look for a much lower, to be honest with you, but this will maybe take some time before it happens. There you go. So yeah, that is it basically for these. I have no other TAs on the stocks otherwise, and yeah, for the alts, I'm just going to remain patient and just gonna come back on this and go back on here. And yeah, just gonna remain patient and yeah, just wait for a sign of strength basically. So let's see if Bitcoin get this short trade up here. If we don't, then we're going to go for the range bottom, to be honest with you. That will be the best in any case. See if we can get a long trade down here. Anyways, wishing you all a brilliant day ahead. Take care of you and catch you all as always in the next one on Friday, otherwise sooner in Discord. Have a nice one. Cheers.